Attention! Liverpool in the race to sign a £70 million monster who is better than Huijsen. Deal for Liverpool's incredible target could be even bigger than the Florian Wirtz transfer. Barcelona executives give the green light for the signing of Luis Diaz, and he has already made his decision. Hello, dear fan. Let's check out the latest updates from the greatest club in the world. Liverpool continues to monitor the situation of Jarrad Branthwaite, the 22-year-old Everton centre-back, and remains firmly in the race to sign him. The defender has stood out over the past 2 seasons in Merseyside, significantly improving since David Moyes arrived in January, drawing attention from top Premier League clubs. According to transfer expert Graham Bailey, Liverpool's interest is directly linked to Ibrahima Konaté's contract situation. The French defender is entering the final year of his deal, which raises internal concerns. Therefore, the club is unlikely to make any moves in the defensive market until Konaté's future is resolved. However, if no progress is made in the negotiations, Branthwaite could become one of the most sought-after names on Merseyside this summer. Liverpool is not alone in its pursuit. Tottenham Hotspur is also closely monitoring the defender, who is currently valued at £70 million. Manchester United, having shown interest before, could rejoin the race depending on how the player's future unfolds in the coming weeks. Back in 2023, the Red Devils contacted Everton, who set a £75 million price tag on the defender, considered one of the club's most valuable assets. Standing at 1.95 m tall, Branthwaite is an imposing presence at the back. He's known for his strength in duels, determination, and assertiveness in challenges, making him a key figure in Everton's defense. While he's not yet as comfortable in build-up systems like Huijsen, recently signed by Real Madrid, there are clear signs that Branthwaite may have an even brighter future. Premier League data from last season shows that Branthwaite outperformed others in direct defensive duels and maintained a similar passing accuracy, even in a less attack-oriented tactical system. His reading of the game, intervening only when necessary, is reminiscent of Virgil van Dijk's calm and effective approach. Additionally, being left-footed, he offers a valuable and rare strategic alternative in the market, which could make him the ideal long-term successor to Van Dijk, even if his arrival would stir controversy due to the Everton-Liverpool rivalry. Although not fully aligned with possession-based styles, Branthwaite still has room to grow in that aspect. Under new manager Arne Slot, known for developing players tactically, the defender could further improve his distribution and become a key asset for the Reds. Based on his performances over the past 2 years, Branthwaite has certainly done enough to convince sporting director Richard Hughes and Liverpool's recruitment team that he could be the right signing to bolster the backline next season. Do you think Jarrad Branthwaite would be a good signing to replace Van Dijk in the future, even coming from the city's biggest rival? Liverpool remains strongly linked with Newcastle striker Alexander Isak, and according to journalist Sami Mokbel, a potential transfer of the Swedish forward to Anfield could even surpass the impressive figures involved in the deal for Florian Wirtz. Speaking on the football terrace, Mokbel discussed Liverpool's possible moves in this transfer window and highlighted that the Wirtz deal, valued at up to £116 million with a £100 million fixed fee, already ranks among the biggest investments in the market. Still, he believes signing Isak would have an even greater impact, both financially and in terms of European football buzz. Mokbel stated that, unless something completely unexpected happens, the Wirtz deal will be the biggest of the window, reinforcing the German midfielder's status as Liverpool's top priority. However, he made it clear that any progress in negotiations for Alexander Isak could change that narrative. According to Mokbel, Isak leaving Newcastle would be a surprising and, in his words, even absurd move, considering the central role the striker plays in the Magpies' sporting project. It's huge. I don't see any bigger deal this window, unless something truly extraordinary happens with someone like Alexander Isak. The Wirtz deal will probably be the biggest of the summer, and Liverpool already have him as their #1 target, said Mokbel. It's £116 million in total, with a fixed fee of £100 million. It's not yet a British transfer record, but it's close. Yes, it's expensive, but we've all seen what he brings on the pitch. Despite most of the attention focusing on Wirtz, rumors involving Isak continue to circulate behind the scenes at Anfield. Mokbel explained that although he hasn't gathered enough solid information to publish an official article, he has consistently heard that Liverpool hasn't ruled out the Swedish striker as a strategic option. That shows the interest might be more active than it appears in the headlines. Yes, not to the point where I've verified it with all my sources or felt comfortable enough to write anything official. But I'd be lying if I said I haven't recently heard conversations about Liverpool keeping an eye on Alexander Isak. The main question regarding Alexander Isak's potential signing is whether it will be financially viable. If Liverpool manages to land both him and Florian Wirtz in this window, the club would demonstrate an unprecedented level of ambition and investment, marking one of the most impactful transfer windows in Premier League history. The two signings would add youth, creativity, and attacking power to the squad, signaling that under Arne Slot's leadership, Liverpool is not just looking to compete, but to win titles again. The big question for fans now is, with all the investment he would require, is Alexander Isak truly the ideal name to lead Liverpool's attack alongside Florian Wirtz? Share your opinion below. Barcelona has begun initial efforts to sign Luis Diaz, despite ongoing financial issues and reports suggesting they can't afford Liverpool's asking price. The Colombian forward was a key part of Liverpool's 20th league title, and any attempt to downplay his importance is misguided. Liverpool, for its part, has no intention of selling him. However, the club's reluctance to offer a more fitting contract based on his performance has opened the door to speculation and external approaches. Currently, Diaz earns an estimated £55,000 per week, low for a player of his caliber. This discrepancy raises an uncomfortable question. Either Diaz is a world-class player who deserves to be valued accordingly, or it makes no sense to demand such a high fee for his transfer. Barcelona will likely use this argument in negotiations. If Liverpool doesn't think Diaz deserves a contract in the £150,000 to £250,000 per week range, how can they justify asking for €80 million, about £68 million? That's expected to be the foundation of the Catalan club's strategy to lower the price. Despite this, Diaz doesn't seem eager to force a move. In a recent interview, the 28-year-old forward said, "I'm very, very happy at Liverpool. Since day one, they made me feel very welcome. Right now, we're in contact with the club because we're talking to other teams. It's normal, the market is open, and we're trying to decide what's best for us. I'm just waiting to see what happens. If Liverpool doesn't make a good offer, I still have 2 years left. I'd be happy to stay." Luis Diaz appears open to staying at Liverpool, but is closely following the negotiations. Meanwhile, the Spanish media insists that he is leaning toward accepting a move to Barcelona, which is already working behind the scenes to make the Luis Diaz operation a reality, with the approval of Hansi Flick and Deco. Despite Barcelona's optimism, Liverpool is expected to remain firm in its stance, especially after committing to pay £100 million for Wirtz and his high weekly wages. The expectation is that sales this summer will take time, as the club has tasked new sporting director Richard Hughes with ensuring maximum return on outgoing transfers. According to rumors, Michael Edwards could also be directly involved, leading the sales strategy with a sharp focus on profitability and effective squad replacement. In summary, although Barcelona is determined and optimistic about signing Luis Diaz, the outcome of this saga will depend on Liverpool's stance regarding his contract and the transfer fee they're willing to accept. Thank you for watching until the end. See you next time.